What if an innocent video game, one that many of us grew up with, could reach right out of the console and start hurting its players? Hello, I'm Megan.
And I'm Dustin.
Here on Between Two Channels, we discuss the strange, the scary, and the nostalgic.
This is the show where I dig up a mysterious story, piece it all together into a packet,
and then I, along with you, dive into its twists, turns, and secrets, uncovering every detail.
Today, we're unraveling the mystery of Lavender Town Syndrome, a legendary piece of Pokemon game lore where rumors of strange symptoms like dizziness, illness, and even death haunted young Japanese children who played the game. So let's dive in.
Where does this story begin? Let's set the scene. Japan, 1996. Pokémon Red and Green have just been released for the Game Boy. Wait, Red and Green? I thought it was Red and Blue.
Red and Blue were the versions that we got here in the US in 1998, but Red and Green were actually the original versions that dropped in Japan in 1996.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, developed by Game Freak and published by Nintendo, this role-playing game would soon become an absolute worldwide phenomenon, kicking off what would become a multi-billion-dollar franchise. In the game, players control a protagonist, exploring the Kanto region, capturing Pokemon, battling trainers, and collecting badges from gym leaders to become the ultimate Pokemon trainer. Another goal, completing the Pokédex by catching all 151 Pokemon. Wow, 151 Pokemon. Wait, then why does the commercial say 150?
Ooh, very good catch. So when Red and Green were released, there were technically only 150 Pokemon because Mew was hidden deep within the game's code.
Hidden in the game's code? Wait, what? Oh, ew! Mew is kind of ugly. What happened?
Yeah, people often describe him as fetus-like.
Ugh, gross.
It's kind of a crazy story, and maybe we'll make a whole video about it here, but for now, let's get back to Lavender Town Syndrome.
Oh, right. Okay. But still, only 151 Pokemon? How many are there now?
Oh man, there are so many. Honestly, too many. I think there's over 1,000 Pokemon at this point.
Over 1,000?
Yeah, actually it looks like there are 1,025, and some of them, honestly, pretty weird.
I think they're running out of animals to base them on.
Yeah, true. Here is a motorcycle. Here's some keys. This one looks like a phone or a tablet. And then how about just a whole cake?
Hey, I like that one. I think I have kind of a love-hate relationship with this because I understand the inanimate objects are a little weird, but I really love a lot of the new generation Pokemon. But that's also probably because I didn't play a lot of Pokemon as a kid and I got into it a little bit later on.
I get it, but I started with Red and back then there was just 151 and that was already too many. My 8-year-old brain could not fathom 1,000 Pokemon. Alright, okay, but let's get back to the packet.
Alright. For those of you who grew up with Pokemon Red and Green, or Red and Blue, depending on where you were, the game is a nostalgic trip filled with hazy core memories of hours spent playing late into the night. The game was upbeat, fun, and joyful until you reach one of its darker areas, Lavender Town. Dustin, stop.
Sorry.
Lavender Town is a haunted location filled with abandoned buildings, gravestones, and most famously, the Pokemon Tower, a burial ground for deceased Pokemon and your introduction to ghost-type Pokemon. A Pokemon burial ground?
Yeah, it was pretty intense. This is where you learn that sometimes Pokemon just die.
That's like learning your pet can die.
Exactly. It was creepy, but it wasn't just Game Freak teaching us all about death that made this so weird. Lavender Town was a complete vibe shift, and in this location, players were greeted to a unique piece of music. A haunting arrangement of high-pitched, dissonant tones that felt unsettling even in its 8-bit chiptune form.
Do you need to actually change it?
Just show the script and show my guy going 8-bit chiptune form. Why did I write this? Alright, but let's take a listen.
This is the first time I'm listening to this.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, that is pretty creepy.
Right?
It makes me feel uncomfortable. It's scary.
And now you're cursed too.
What?
Nothing. So anyways, this is the foundation of Lavender Town Syndrome, and as the story goes, this music had an unusual effect on players, especially younger ones. Keep reading.
You see, kids who listened to the song were said to experience a range of disturbing symptoms. Headaches, dizziness, insomnia, violent behavior, and even, allegedly, hundreds of cases of suicide. What? That's crazy. Rumors swirled that hidden frequencies within the song could only be heard by children, and that the track was the work of a lone programmer who used binaural beats and unique frequencies to brainwash young players. This is terrible. Why would someone do this?
Pure evil.
The experiment, they say, went horribly wrong. You think? Resulting in injuries to thousands of kids and the deaths of hundreds of unfortunate children. So let me get this straight. Kids were injured, but children died.
Yeah, let me check my notes on that one. Yes, that's what I have here, yes.
Okay. Supposedly, the song was later replaced, and thankfully, the terror stopped. I would hope so.
Yeah.
But what if I told you none of this was real? Wait, what? Are you kidding me?
Yep, that's how the story goes.
Dustin, you're telling me this whole time we've been leading up to a lie?
Yeah.
The whole time? The whole time?
I mean, it's called a bait and switch. We're a new channel. We need to have people locked in for the first couple minutes. So yeah, the whole time.
So none of it was real?
None of it. It's all fake.
Well, except Pokemon.
No. Pokemon is also fake.
It's all been a Mandela effect.
Not even. It just only existed in your mind.
That's so scary.
So to clarify, as terrifying as this story sounds, it's nothing more than a creepypasta.
What is that? Scary spaghetti?
What? No, it's a scary internet story, and this one specifically swept up an entire generation of players.
Oh, okay.
The Lavender Town Syndrome tale first started circulating online in the early 2010s on sites like 4chan, growing more elaborate over time as bits of lore were added from various other creators. The story snowballed, becoming a global urban legend that some people believe is real to this day.
I mean, it sounds like it could be real.
Yes, and what made the story so compelling was its use of an already eerie setting, Lavender Town, and a haunting soundtrack.
Having now heard the song, I get it. It's creepy.
Lavender Town is strange, and the music is just odd.
And there's ghost Pokemon everywhere.
Yeah, there really are.
This whole place was made to freak you out.
It also drew on real-life events like the Pokemon shock incident, where in 1997, over 600 children were hospitalized for photosensitive epileptic seizures. These were caused by rapidly flashing blue and red lights in the Pokemon anime's 38th episode.
Whoa, so that's something that really happened?
Yeah, I actually remember hearing about this in the news when I was a kid.
Did this episode ever air in the US?
No, it never did. The episode was titled Deno Senshi Porygon. It only aired in Japan and featured a sequence that caused blurred vision, headaches, dizziness, and nausea in viewers, and it was the perfect real-life fuel to add to Lavender Town Syndrome's myth.
That's crazy.
Yes, this sensationalized story, combined with the creepy vibe of Lavender Town and the rise of online forums, created a once-in-a-lifetime viral creepypasta phenomenon that at the time felt oddly plausible. Is that good? Did I nail it?
Yeah, you nailed it, bro.
Okay.
It's insane how real life events can get twisted into online horror stories that just take on a life of their own. Nowadays, with instant fact checking or just some kid live streaming himself listening to the song to prove it's fake, it probably wouldn't evolve into a mysterious urban legend like it did. It'd just be a quick meme or TikTok trend like the Grimace Shake.
Oh, I miss the Grimace Shake.
Me too.
What a truly haunting beverage.
Anyways, the internet is crazy.
Lavender Town Syndrome left an everlasting mark on pop culture. The story inspired fan fiction, fan art, and countless other creepypastas building on the unsettling mystery of Lavender Town itself.
Wow.
There it is. That's the Lavender Town Syndrome.
It's wild how taking something meant for kids, games, books, movies, even music, and twisting it just a little can make it downright creepy.
Yeah, nostalgia is truly a powerful tool.
It really is.